now. We've talked enough about Star Wars. Let's go with Creature Commandos, okay? And this is our step into the Star Wars, into the DC universe. Okay, so let's talk about Creature Commandos, the finale. RJ, if you're still watching, you better buckle in for this one. Okay, so Creature Commandos, the finale. What do
We
I
haven't seen
think?
it yet.
Who hasn't?
No, we haven't seen it yet. We're all waiting on a finale.
I know that was the finale. It was like, oh, it's
finale.
over. Okay.
Like, oh.
But like at the end, it was like basically they're just like, yeah, the bride gets the team. She's the leader now, and
King Shark is a shark.
he looks like, dude, he looks like a toddler in that image. He's just like hell fat. I was just like, what? And then Rick Flag Sr. still in the hospital.
Which I think he'll be in the hospital still in the new Superman movie, and that's what's going to lead into.
No.
Boom.
No, he's like, I think all they were trying to do was separate him from Creature Commando, so that if you see him,
that's why the bride is the new head.
She's the new leader.
Yeah.
And it's only a matter of time before Creature Commandos, appears in live action. That's why they cast all these real actors to voice them, because eventually they're going to show up. So at the end, they figured out. They figured out that the princess was a bad guy, and they killed her
in another castle.
Yeah, but then Nina, who's the fucking fish lady, and this finale centered around her backstory. This was the most useless character I've ever seen in a show.
Yes.
Absolutely useless. Had no value. The only thing she provided for them was, she was a really nice person, and she was our friend.
You know what's so great about that is she was so nice, but she was in with criminals.
Yeah, how did she get
She
put on the team?
fucking did nothing wrong, and she had morals. What the fuck?
I mean, like the fish she got caught eating, was that illegal? Like that was like a steelhead?
Like that was an endangered species. Get her!
It was just like, huh? And then even Weasel, whenever he would see the princess, he would think about the little girl that was in the school. And so a part of me was like, maybe that is the same person. Maybe it's some kind of weird twist that like she lived and then she took over this person's identity, something weird. No, it was just, he was just associating that with her and was like,
well, I mean, dude,
Weasel, stop. It was like,
even in the fucking movie and in this whole damn show, dude, Weasel is a non-essential character. He provides nothing. No fucking value whatsoever.
Hey, man, he took on Circe.
He doesn't do I don't care that he bites the fucking the other Alan Tiddick's fucking character. I don't. He doesn't do anything. He's useless. Fucking Weasel.
Yeah, I mean,
fucking useless.
Of all the characters that took down Circe, it was Weasel. And I know James Gunn said, well, Circe, her powers come from her hands, so he took away the ability to use her hands because he just attacked her. It was, I mean, look, I think he probably felt like, I got to give this guy something. He has to do something to show that he has some kind of value. Otherwise, he's just kind of there. But Nina was a completely useless character.
Yep.
She was literally there to be the anchor to their emotional attachment. So she would, she said, you killed the only person that I actually cared about, or that was actually my friend or whatever. And that's her whole purpose of being on this team. It didn't make sense why she was there. It didn't make sense why she was in the facility. Why? Because she was eating a fish and she got caught like she was fucking Bigfoot. It made no sense. Mm-hmm. And then not only that, but the dad was like, Nina, it's okay. I love you. The cop's like,
hey, yeah, he's like, you're going after the creature. Shoot him.
It was like, why did you shoot him for? Yeah. That was a little, I mean, and not only that, but I was like, oh, he's going to get shot. Watch. Bam, he got shot. It was like,
and then I thought, okay, she's going to kill somebody, right? Inadvertently or whatever. She's going to accidentally kill somebody. And then that's how she gets arrested. Nope.
Yeah. Nope. I thought when he got shot, she'd be like, no. And someone would end up dead. Like, she hit somebody or grabbed a gun.
Something.
No, that was it.
There's nothing. There's fucking nothing. Who cares? Her character. Yeah, see, look, even Matt doesn't care. He left. Yeah, no, dude. It's
go ahead and read that. Go ahead and read it.
I think her not belonging to on a team was kind of the point. There was no fucking point if she didn't even belong in the fucking facility, RJ. She didn't even belong there. Her appearance was the only reason. She was deemed a monster. Nah, dude, seriously, they
Kind
got
of.
monsters out there.
I'll agree with
They
that. That
wouldn't
like
put him.
she
They wouldn't put him
physically looked like a
locked up.
monster, and that's fine. But
Yeah, that's lame though.
For Amanda Waller to be like, hey,
Whoa.
she's gonna be on your team. Like she didn't add any value. Everything they wanted her to do, she was like, what? Why are we doing that? I don't want to do that. It was just kind of like, why are you here?
Yeah.
Nobody ever stopped to say, why are you here?
Well, I mean, you said it before, she was only there as an anchor for the bride, oh, we got to get the bride out of being this hard ass. So here's a character that is a throwaway character, but here's a character that will help unlock the heart of this other monster. It's just stupid.
Well, and then Eric, who's, Frankenstein, he's chasing her around. She shoots him and all that stuff. But it's kind of like, I thought at one point she was finally going to, say, okay, he does have some value. He can help us with something. No, they just kept that narrative going. There's deeper thematic storytelling going on. It's meant to be tragic. And look, I get
it was
that.
Tragic, but in a different way.
Well, like it was tragic that she died, but at the end of the day, she didn't add much value to even the team. I mean, you could say, oh, well, she was she was, what do you want to call it? She was like the heart of everyone, of the team. Everyone liked her. Everyone cared for her. But that, to me, it was just like, why are you here?
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, in the first episode, Waller tells her, wait till you see her in the water. She's completely different. As if like when she gets in the water, she's fucking bananas. Yeah. She got in the water and she swam around like a fucking regular person, was just like swimming underneath her. And it was just kind of like, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, what was also funny was that, okay, so you've got that blonde girl and Nina in the water, and it's deep. And then the girl turns around and starts stabbing her in the abdomen and all that, and then you got the bride casually walking out waist deep into the water. But I was like, wait a minute, where's it drop at? she's so close to where they were, but she's still like waist deep in the water. I'm like, what are we doing here? She
just has a sharp drop off.
It's just a really sharp drop off. But I was like, that's somebody.
Not only that, but like all those soldiers were standing around that
and then
pond.
They were gone.
And then the moment that they popped out, they'd been like, oh, instead they were, there was like there was nobody there, or they didn't see them. I mean, this sounds bad, but Nina's purpose was to die tragically to help build the bride's character up and give her an arc for this season. As we go into season 2, we pick up from there. No,
I get it, but
I get it.
It's weak what they did. That's so weak.
Right. Like I get exactly what you're saying, RJ. And I saw that when I watched the show, but I didn't care. I just thought that was weak. I was like, okay, well, she didn't, and someone, I think Sean, when he was on here, he was like, she's like the science officer. She's the science officer, but she didn't do anything. She wasn't even like, using her science ability to help break things down. And it's like,
she's like, I like to hypothesize.
It just served no value. Rick Flag got put into the hospital, and he never got out. It just, I don't know. I mean, I thought this would set up something for the bigger storyline, and it didn't. It didn't have to have a huge payoff in the main storyline because, look, not everyone's going to be watching the show. But you showed all these characters dead, Superman on the cross, all this stuff. And then it showed Gorilla Grodd standing next to the princess. And then none of that unfolded. None of that was connected. None of that transpired. So it was like, oh, it's over. She shot her in the head, so we're done.
Dun, 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 dun.
Like, I mean, when they were looking at the cameras and they're like, "Who is that?" and you see a big individual next to him or next to her walking into the castle, I thought that was going to be Gorilla Grodd, and that Gorilla Grodd was using his mind control to make her do these things. Because when she was like, "I'm going to go for my swim," it didn't make any sense. Even they were like, "Why are you doing that for? What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
So I thought she was under mind control.
And to get her out there so she could kill the fish lady because of the tragic ending. That's all it was. There was no purpose for her being in the water. There's no purpose for her, swimming. It was just, it's just like, okay. And this is how bad story writing is. It's like we got to get from this to this to this to this. and then we end. And it's not, you know, because of this, it created this issue, or because of this choice that pushed, you know, this thing to happen or whatever. There was no setup payoff. It was just, okay, from this we need to get to this, to this, and it was a leapfrog way of storytelling, which is very piss poor.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, just that's, I mean, seriously, dude, that's what I'm seeing a lot of these days with movies, is that like the writers almost kind of don't understand story structure and how
James Gunn wrote
build.
it.
So I'm not very confident in Superman. I'm not very confident in a lot of the stuff that he's coming out with, because it's so far, dude. This fucking shit's mid.
I don't think it needed more episodes, RJ, but I do think the episodes needed to be longer. Now, I'm not saying they should have been like 40-minute episodes, but they were really short. Some of them was like, oh, that's it. It was like 25 minutes, 22 minutes. They each at least needed to be 30 minutes, 35 minutes.
Well, I mean, they could have done something, and again, you know, you can squish it down to a short time frame, but just, you know, hit the story beats better. You know, make it more compelling, interesting, and exciting for the viewer in that 22-minute. You know, even though it's short, man, you can still tell a good story within 22 minutes. People do that shit all the time with the water cooler.
I mean, look, it's a show that, you know, it has violence, it has blood and all that stuff, and I think that's really cool.
It has a lot of middle fingers.
But I'm hoping that kind of violence, you know, comes over the big screen. I don't think it will. Maybe it will for certain characters, or, you know, because depending on who they are, but I wonder if we're going to see the same level of violence in live action. I highly doubt so. I highly doubt we'll see it in Superman.
No,
you know, and I don't want Superman. I'm still not happy with his look. Again, Superman and Batman, the Reeves Batman. I hate the suit, or not the suit. I hate the cowl.
I don't like the suit.
Yeah, it's
just I think going with gunmetal black all over his fucking body,
big cargo pants.
Boring. It's boring.
The animation is typically 22 minutes, and they likely structured the show this way so it could air on TV like Adult Swim down the road. That's why I think it needed another 2 episodes or 2. Maybe it did, but I felt like some of these episodes needed to be longer. Like, as soon as something would happen, the episode was over. Like, what? What do you guys like? I like a lot of things.
I like a lot of stuff.
Look at it this way. If I was on here just telling you how much I loved everything, you'd be like, that's cool. And you too.
Yeah. They're like, oh, what is he like now?